Page 35, Peasant Dance. This piece is in the key of D major. You see the two sharps, so we'll have to talk about the key of D major. One sharp is the key of G major. We've had that, and hopefully you've been doing the G major scale. The first sharp in a key signature is always the F. Well, now two sharps, the second sharp is a C sharp, and it's always a C. So you don't have to worry about, okay, what are those sharps on? They're always on the same things. And two sharps is the key of D major. So now you need to go find my scale video on D major and do the beginner portion, one octave up and down. Start working on that scale also. Now let's look this over. 3 lines long, treble and bass clef, two sharps. We got the 3/4 time with a pickup beat coming in on beat 3. It's got repeat signs and a first and second ending, so it's really longer than 3 lines. It just looks like it's 3 lines. Let's take the right hand first to make sure we get the notes and the rhythms. The right hand starts on F sharp here, so you're in this position. Not going to stay here, but this is where you're starting. 3 and 1. 3 and 1, 2, and just quarter notes. 1 and 2 and. Okay, let's go to the second line, third measure. It's a half note here, and as you lift up, it's the end of a phrase, you lift up. Well, this time when you lift up, you're going to move also. You lift up. So, now, let's talk about moving the hand. It's one thing when you're just moving the hand a little bit. I mean, you can learn to feel that. You don't even have to look at the keyboard for it. But when you're moving big distances like this, you got to look at the keyboard. So, first off, you know you're going to have to look down to do this. And the moment you're there, you can look back at the music. We practice hand moves in piano when we need to, because the beat has to be a steady beat. Don't mess up the beat because you're moving hands around. So you're cutting the half note just a little bit short, or you'd cut it a little bit short anyway for the phrase. All right, and then as you lift up, you simply move. You know where you are, where you need to go, and which fingers are involved. And you practice that if you have to. Because sometimes with a black key especially, you can miss and slide off. I do it all the time. It's fun. So try and get that. And then you're up here. You're playing the same thing you did at the beginning, but an octave higher. Do you understand what an octave is, or have I messed up? All right. Now on the third line, you're here. Now you get a 1 beat rest to come up because the notes are written here, but it has an 8VA over it. Therefore, you go up an octave. So you're here instead of here. You just lift up and move. And then the 8VA goes away, you come back down. And then during that, you come back down and do it down here in this octave. You're playing the same notes, just in different spots. Left hand, well, left hand gets the broken chords. So here, C sharp, and then G and an A. And then the D chord, which is here. You learn to see these chords, recognize them as one thing, a chord. And you just play it. It's a broken chord. And the second line, about the 4th measure over. It's after the reverse repeat sign. It's still chords, they're just a different pattern of broken chord. Okay, now the last line. Well, here's the fun part. Last line, you're starting out here, and you get treble clef. So during the rest, you got to come all the way up to here, to that one, and then during the rest, you come down to here, same notes, and then you get bass clef back. So you're playing the same notes in different spots. The fun is going to be doing both hands at the same time. So let's do both hands at the same time. At the beginning, we're here. These are together. These are together. Remember dissonance? This is dissonance. So forth. Now, second line, third measure where the half note is. Here. The left hand isn't moving. During the rest, you come up here. So it's 1, 2, and. See there? Third line. You're here. a rest. Both hands have to come up. You have choices. It's up to you. I like to move one hand at a time because I could concentrate on it better. Sometimes you don't have a choice. You have to move both hands. Well, they have a rest, so if it's slow enough, you could, if you wanted to, move one hand at a time. I get the right hand up and then the left hand. It happens fairly quickly. Here, same thing. This time, you see when you're doing it one hand at a time, the hand in front goes first. And the hand in front depends on which direction you're going. So if I'm going up here, the hand in front is the right hand. Because if I move the left hand first, then the hands don't get along anymore and they're fighting and you just so you move that one. But when I'm going the other direction, now I gotta move the left hand first. And then so the leading hand moves first is what it is. So if you're gonna do it one hand at a time, here, the right hand moves first, and then coming down, the left hand moves first. And again, left hand. Now, this piece moves, so we don't have time to move them one at a time. You got to do both hands at the same time. This is rather challenging. This is the last line I'm talking about. The second measure, a here and then a here. I got to think about that. Oops. I got to think about that. Well, in addition to that, now I got to get the left hand from here to here at the same time. So I'm here to here. You think about that. This move to this move. I don't have a lot of help for you. Just practice that until you're comfortable with it. And then going down, you're going from here to here. This is here, and this is here. So it's... And then going down, you're going from here to here. Same notes involved, just different. So you may have to practice the hand moves here because you can't mess up the beat. And if moving your hand slows you down, then it slows you down. You take the whole piece at whatever speed you slow down to, because the whole thing needs to be at one speed. It's a dance. People are going to move to this. Don't be speeding up and slowing down. Then when you have all that mess worked out, you can think about the articulation. They give you 2-note slurs. On these eighth notes, they don't give you anything. I'm suggesting you connect, pretend the slur is over the eighth notes and the first quarter note. So there. So it's actually 4 notes. All of that is slurred together. Of course, the repeated notes you can't slur, but lift up. It's the end of a phrase. Just lift up. Lift up and do it again. That's my suggestion on the articulation. Just slur those notes together. The left hand gets the chuck chucks at first. You connect the first 2, and then so chuck. They're not real short staccato. They're just disconnected. It helps to reinforce the natural accent, which is the first beat of the measure. 1, 2, 3. We want to feel that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. You feel it, don't force it, feel it, and it'll come across. At the end, the last few measures, you get staccatos. That's not staccato, but these 2, and then not staccato. So there's only 2 of those quarter note beats that are staccato. Now when you get to the broken chords, in the second line there, where here after the reverse repeat sign, you're still using the same, you're separating, but connect the left hand all the way through. Connect the left hand all the way through. It's a tricky, but it's important you get the idea of doing that, so please give it a try. They say at the top in the words up there to be sure and put a sharp accent at the first of the measure. No, That's maybe when you're first learning it and you're trying to get an idea of the natural accent, you exaggerate it. But take that away. Don't play it like that for somebody. Feel it. Just if you'll feel it, it'll be there. It's not a sharp accent. It's just a natural accent, and that's a very slight accent. Could be an accident, I'm not sure, but it's an accent. Dynamics go to the right hand, of course. That's the melody. Mezzo piano is sort of soft. Whatever you think kind of soft is, medium soft. When you get to the second line, fourth measure over, you're up here, you're up moderately loud. So you're up a little bit. That moderately loud MF is in the wrong place, in my opinion. It belongs under the eighth notes because it's the pickup. You had a pickup at the beginning. You have a pickup here. There's going to be the same dynamic so the MF belongs there. And then in the last line, you're starting that moderately loud, MF. Now you go up to loud, then back to moderately loud, now it's soft. And they say retardando. If you have people dancing to this, don't retardando. Just end it. That's it. But if there's nobody dancing to it, they're just listening to it, you might get away with a retardando there. Left hand, keep it in the background. Now let's talk the road map. Where do we go when? Because it's not just straight through. You see on the second line, you have a reverse repeat sign in the middle of the line, and you have a repeat sign at the end of the line, and you have a first ending there. Huh? A lot going on. It means on the second line, the first time you play it, you play through the second line completely. And then you repeat back to the reverse repeat sign. Remember the rule for repeat sign. You repeat back to the latest reverse repeat sign, and if there isn't one, then you go back to the beginning and play it all again. They don't want you to go to the beginning this time. They only want you to go back to a few measures to the reverse repeat sign. So you're going to repeat back to that, and you'll play two measures. You don't play the first ending again. You played it as you're done. You're finished with it. You go immediately to the second ending, which is on the third line there. You see the two? That's the second ending. Second line there, where the reverse repeat sign, we're here. You do the first ending, then repeat back to the reverse repeat sign. Now I go to the second ending because I'm done with the first. And I finish it from there. Then the speed. Well, good luck with the speed. Animato is animated as it's quick, but it has to be accurate. This should be a light, fun dance, but it has to be accurate. So how fast can you make these hand moves accurately? That's your animato. That's my animated. And I slowed it down for me because of the movements. Because really an animated, that could move really quick. Let's play it together very slowly and check all the notes and rhythms. The rhythms shouldn't be a problem, it's the notes because we're moving around. And even if you have to, just one hand at a time. So I'll give us 2 counts, ready, go, because we come in on beat 3. But we're going to go really slow, I hope. No dynamics, just notes and rhythms. Ready and go, and. Repeat second ending. Rest, rest, rest.